Tony takes it over and turns it over to the young guy. Drops down with the lower leg on Wayne Ferris. Springs it. He learns something.
Yes, he did.
Hooks that leg up, moves in on him. Gotta watch yourself here. That other leg can kick you right in the mouth before you know what's happening. He grabbed tights that time, and look at that. Young Tommy, eager boy, if nothing else, he really will stay on top of you. He went for him and kept him from getting to the corner. Tags Tony. And Charles back fell out right there. Tags Tommy Gilbert Jr. Tommy. He had it on him. Once again, Ferris tried to get away and go to the corner by using the tights. Young Tommy just stayed right after him. Now Ferris goes for the hair. Latham came through. Couldn't have gotten the tag if he had to. But he's back to the corner, and that's going to be a tag on the fresher man, Latham. Nice single leg dive. Young Tommy really goes after it. Boy, he's in great shape, and he is eager, eager, eager. That coupled with inexperience will sometimes get you in a little bit of trouble. Latham grabs him, manhandles him out, but look at him just stay right after that leg. Talk about that proverbial bulldog staying on your pants leg. That's what Tommy Jr. is doing right now.
He is
just
indeed.
Won't give up.
He's hanging in there. We're almost 6.5 minutes into a 1-fall, 15-minute time limit match.
6.5 minutes down the pike, and we still have 9.5 minutes to go. No, let's make it 8.5 minutes to go. Young Tommy staying on it. Tony very pleased with the way the young fella is just staying right after Latham. He's made a mistake or two in here, but he covers up for him by that eagerness, man. He just is very, very determined. He's going to be a good one. With that single leg dive again, he takes him over and down. Picks it right up. Drops with the lower leg. Latham working his way back toward the corner, tags Ferris. Woo, Ferris, he didn't break quick enough. Ferris got him from behind.
That's where the inexperience you were talking about came in. And Ferris really unloaded on him.
He's taking advantage of it, too. And Ferris, who picked up a lot of experience himself on his Gulf Coast and Bahamas tour, hanging with that reverse face lock very hard on young Tommy. He's out in the center of the ring. He's hanging in there, but Ferris really applying a pressure on him. Referee checking to be sure that that arm is up on the chin. Satisfied that it is, apparently. And he takes Ferris over. Good move, but he can't get to the corner. Ferris really waylaid him. Caught him with an uppercut with his forearm. Slams him into Latham. Turns it over to Larry.
8 minutes gone, 7 minutes left to wrestle.
At the 8-minute mark, Tommy Jr. in trouble, and he is being held over near the Latham-Ferris corner. Latham surfboards his arms back, plants that head in the middle, squeezing to take the strength out of him. Now with his knee down there, Tommy Jr. hanging in there. Latham. Double clothesline on Tommy Jr., but our time is running down to the wire.
30 seconds.
Ferris back in.
Tony's knee is hurt.
And they're double teaming Tommy Jr., and Tony hurt his knee. He may have hit that strut that stuck out. It fell out earlier. And Tony may have hit it right on the kneecap when Ferris pulled the rope down.
10 seconds.
We're only 10 seconds away. As Tommy Jr. and they're taking the punishment. Here comes his dad. Well, the time had run out. The referee signaled for the bell to be rung, but I think the time had already rung out, and out of there they go.
just clarified Tony Charles and Eddie Gilbert fight outside interference.
Well, okay, that's the decision from referee Paul Morton. There is one of those situations, Dave, where I think it was in the process where I was just getting ready to ring the bell on it, where the time might have been out. So
I think Tommy hit the ring just about 2 seconds before the time limit would have expired anyway. So
but Tommy Gilbert in there to when his son caught in between Ferris and Latham, and they were really working him over. Tony, as Ferris pulled that down, I don't know, it very well could have been the ring support that was knocked down earlier is sticking out about 1.5 feet below the ring. And when Tony flipped out of that ring, his knee may very well have come right down on that ring support. Always good to see you, Eddie. The situation, I know one of the happiest things of your life is the interest that Eddie took in the ring and following in the footsteps, and it must have been a real thrill when you started working together as a tag team, actually in the ring. But it's kind of taken a little sour note. Jealousy has kind of worked its way in from another father's undoing.
Yeah, you're right, Lance, and a lot of times things like that happen, you know, and nobody can be any prouder of their kids whenever they want to do something and they see them do their best. But, you know, Buddy is, man, he's become unreal. You know, I couldn't believe that the man could be like this. But I want to tell Buddy one thing, since he's looked like he's turned over a new leaf, and he don't want to be the man that I thought he was. Buddy, I'm telling you, straight to your face now, man.
To help get that thing out of there.
You told me not to call you Hog Jaws. I'll call you Hog Jaws or anything else that I want to, anytime, day of the week that I want to. And I'll tell you what, man, whenever we get the ring, I told you not to lay a hand on my kids. I told you that I'd beat your brains out if you did. And that's exactly what I'll do, because we're going to be in there, buddy, and whenever we do, I'm going to do just exactly that. I'm going to deflate them jaws. And they could be, a lot of you, they could be deflated too, buddy. But the main thing is, baby, I just want you, that's all. And as far as your kid goes, I don't want to lay a hand on him. I'm going to do to him what you should have done 10 or 12 years ago. I'm going to pull his tights down and paddle his butt real good and teach him a little manners.
Well, it's obvious that being two father. Okay, hey, buddy, no fights. No fights.
No. Lance, you know, after what happened in this match recently, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And I want to come out here publicly. I want to apologize first to you, Lance. We've been friends for a long time. I've done something that was wrong. I want to apologize to the people in the studio, also the people that's watching it, and most of all, I want to apologize to Eddie and Tommy. Because what I done last week, I just got carried away. The most important thing to me was Ken winning. And what I did was wrong. And what I want to do, Tommy, just forget what happened. And I apologize to you now. And just forget the matches that we got coming up. Just forget them. I'd like to just cancel the match.
Well,
Buddy, I want to tell you something. You said forget the match. No, we won't forget the match. Eddie and I will be out there to wrestle. And that's exactly what we'll do. Until the first time that you make a move, buddy. And I'm telling you now, right to your face, I'll beat your brains out if you lay hands.
I want to forget what we done. Just shake hands, just forget what I done.
Well, I'll shake hands with you, but I'm telling you now. That's exactly it. We'll see you in the ring, buddy.
Okay, well, hey. Come on. Ooh. Come on, Eddie, break it up, man. Hey, you guys save that for the ring. Come on. Buddy Wayne is handcuffed. Tommy Gilbert over to the ring post over there. Hey, come on. Let's get this thing stopped out and get somebody out here. The Waynes with Tommy Gilbert handcuffed over to the ring. The Waynes. That's a great apology. That's all I can say. Can we get somebody out here to get this thing started? The Waynes pounding away on Eddie Gilbert while Tommy Gilbert, I can't help it, Tommy. I can't get the things undone. He locked them on here. Hey, come on, buddy. Just get out. You guys get out of the ring. Hey, okay, buddy. You're asking for it. Bust it. Tommy. Coco Ware and Dallas Montgomery coming out here, and Buddy Wayne shoulder blocked them before they ever got in the ring. All right. Hey, Tommy, I can't get him undone. He's got him locked around there, man. There's nothing I can do about it. Comes Randy Tyler out. Good. Get him out of here. Yeah, just get on out of here, buddy. That's... Randy can... Okay. Tommy Gilbert trying to see, will that key fit in the handcuffs in there? It won't fit? In there. Hey, Jerry, see if we can get somebody to help get that thing out of there. Yeah, see if that key, if you got a key that might work in there. Randy Tyler and Coco and Dallas helping Eddie Gilbert out of there.
Eddie Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie asked me for a word or two before you match with Mike Maroney.
Yes, sir, sure did, Lance. You know, I've come out here a lot of weeks, and I've never bothered anybody. I've never asked anything, and I've never hassled anybody. But you know, Lance, I started wrestling about a year ago, and took my knocks real hard in wrestling. And so I left this area. I went all over the country, and I've wrestled a lot of men. But I don't think there's a man alive that can have that power like Killer Carl Krupp says he's got in his hand.
You're referring to that German claw
yeah,
he got
claw
you
he's
with,
got.
Messed your head up and all.
That's right. And Lance, I know this sounds crazy, but I want to challenge Mr. Krupp right now in the ring.
Eddie, first, you've already got a match with Mike Maroney up here. Killer Carl is a very big and experienced guy. I'm not putting it down and all, but he'll get his and all that. So let's, you know, maybe worry about it another time and talk about it.
Lance, it's no disrespect to you or anything like that. But Killer Krupp, I'm going up to the ring right now, and if you've got any guts at all, you'll bring your little booty out here and get in the ring.
Well, Eddie has got a match coming up with Mike Maroney. I can understand him being irritated. Killer Carl.
I can understand him being irritated, but I can't understand him being crazy.
No,
that's look out.
Hey, come on, Carl. Come on, Carl, get out. Killer Carl Krupp. Eddie Gilbert charging right into him.
Come on, get that prop away from him. Get that prop, huh?
There's Eddie's dad, Tommy Gilbert.
All right.
Tommy Gilbert wearing out. Here comes Jimmy Hart, El Mongo. Yeah, break that thing up. Get him out of there. Come on, bring him out. Yeah, let's get him out of there, Eddie. Jerry Bryant, Jerry Calhoun, Carl Fergie, Tony Boyles, everybody, and Tommy Gilbert. Back. Yeah. Very straining.
I'll tell you one, Lance. I'll tell you one thing I love. I wish the camera could get a shot of Killer Carl Krupp's back. Can you get a shot of his back?
Okay. Now you caused enough trouble. Let's just get it on out.
center of the ring. Tommy takes him over the shoulder, pulls that knee pad up, and drops on him. He wanted that knee ripping his head, and El Mongo in with a foot in Gilbert's side. Gilbert and Gilbert against Killer Carl and El Mongo. Tommy putting a knuckle on Big Killer. Killer worked Eddie over pretty good a couple of weeks ago. And Eddie taking over where his dad left off. Banging away at the Killer. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to break it up a little bit. He's busted a couple of places open on Killer's face. One on top of the head. The other, it looks like, yeah, right over his right eye. Boy, he's got a mouse and a half over that right eye. And it's down, affecting his vision, I'll bet, and his eyelid. Ooh. Eddie Gilbert. El Mongo kicked him off. Man, oh man. The Gilberts with an everything to win, nothing to lose situation. They wanted some of Carl Krupp and El Mongo. Carl just shucks off Eddie. But his right eye is a mess. Tommy and Eddie both have butchered him on that right eye. And Eddie still hammering on the big 263-pound German. Tommy holding El Mongo back. While Eddie gets his measure of satisfaction out of pounding. Uh-oh, the Killer reached up and grabbed over the top, not over the top rope. It was like Dr. Bill Irwin earlier. Valiant threw him in, and the momentum flipped him over. And Eddie slammed on the table. Whoa, getting a little rambunctious down here. Tag on Tommy. Eddie holds him. Tommy busted him from the second rope. Killer Carl won't be reading anything out of that eye. Not tonight. And the Gilberts are saying, boy, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. But don't take him for granted. I was just looking at that. Tommy and Eddie both pleased to get a little revenge with him. But sometimes that'll make you overconfident. Killer Carl rolls underneath after tagging Mongo. And look at Tommy Gilbert go. The wild Mongo coming after him again. He just keeps on. Killer Carl almost out of it. Instinctively went in there to help his partner. Eddie Gilbert snapped Carl on the rope over there. Jimmy Hart watching his champions, even though the belt is not at stake, watching his champions go down the drain here to the Gilberts. Gilbert flew across the ring to grab El Mongo from behind. Now all 4 of them are in. Hart is up at ringside. He gives the cane. A slide by Tommy Gilbert. Down to 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Six minutes, 16 seconds. The winners, Tommy and Eddie Gilbert. And the crowd loves it.
Expiration of time tag team match coming up. On the right of your screen at a total weight of 427 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Eddie Gilbert, and from Union City, Tennessee, Coco Ware. On the left of your screen with their manager Jimmy Kent from Tombstone Territory at 529 pounds, the Bounty Hunters, Jerry and David Novak. This match to the expiration of time, referee Paul Morton.
Okay, off come the Jackets up there. By the way, did you see earlier that your old belt, the AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, regained by Handsome Jimmy?
I saw that, Lance, and I'm glad to see that you finally realized that that was once and always will be my belt. And I plan on getting it back, and I hope Handsome Jimmy still got it when I get around time to facing him, because I'd like nothing better than to whip his behind and take my belt back from him.
Okay. All right, Coco Ware in with David Novak. David, the older of the 2 brothers, Jerry and David Novak. Boy, they are big. I remembered them as big, but not that big. They have really bulked
Especially
up.
This Jerry here on the outside.
Size of that guy. But let me tell you, I love this team they're going against today. Eddie Gilbert and Coco, a couple of really fine young wrestlers. Big shoulder from Eddie. That is Jerry coming into the ring at the moment. The Bounty Hunters, Jimmy Kent. I would remind the wrestling fans, if they need any reminding, these guys were wrestling up in Canada. Jimmy Kent found them up there, brought them down here. They were an obscure team. The honest fact of it, nobody knew anything about them. It was Kent leading them that took them right to the Southern Tag Team Championship belts. And they held those belts for quite some time. Beautiful.
Well, you know, you talk about how big they are, and then, like you said, once again, there's an impressive team of Eddie Gilbert and Coco Ware. Always the size, you know, the size is not always that important in the sport of wrestling. Just like a guy like Joe LeDuc, everybody talks about how big and how strong he is.
He is big.
Well, you know, these Bounty Hunters are big too, but you got a guy over there, Eddie Gilbert, who's fast, and he's the boy's smart. Let's face it. You know, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and if you can think and keep your mind straight and stay one jump ahead of a big man, you can beat him every time.
Well, you're hearing it from the master of thinking in the ring. I have said that behind your back, to your face, and everything else. Lawler probably one of the thinkingest and smartest wrestlers that ever got in there. Eddie Gilbert getting that experience, Coco the same way, and it takes experience along with being able to use that brain to bring it all to a culmination for a fine wrestler.
Well, that's true. You know, a lot of times with the big guys like these Bounty Hunters here, or like, once again, I bring it up, like with Joe LeDuc, their main asset is the fact their size and their strength is that they can take a lot of punishment, right? Well, the object in the wrestling and the way to be successful is to take as little punishment as you possibly can. That's the man that comes out the winner, the man who gets hurt the least. Just because you're big and can take all that abuse, it's going to eventually mount up. Look at these guys right now.
Coco put David down in the front row with that forearm off the apron. He's in. But Jerry Novak stops him cold. The biggest of the 2 Bounty Hunters tags out to David. Jimmy Kent up there saying, beat, beat. This is their return debut on Championship Wrestling. Kent worried at the moment about how impressive they're looking. Uh-oh. Coco maybe a little over-anxious, Jerry.
Well, you know, it's easy to get that way. Everybody is wanting to win this match. Like you said, it's the first time back on wrestling for the Bounty Hunters in quite a while, and naturally, they don't want to start out their return with a loss. And Eddie Gilbert's been out for quite a while with a broken foot. It's his first time back. He wants to get a win. Look at this.
Sunset flip.
Get the referee around. Get the ref.
Kent sneaks up in the ring while the referee's trying to break up Jerry and Eddie Gilbert. They're still fighting, and that's going to be it. Yep. The winners of the first ball, the Bounty Hunters and Jimmy Kent. And don't forget, I said that it was Kent who guided them to that championship. He hadn't lost any of his ability to scramble around in there. So the Bounty Hunters, first ball, we got plenty of time left, so that's not it by a long shot. Listen, let's bring him up to date, Dave, on the first ball of the action in the tag match that we got.
3:48, Bounty Hunters won it. It's one fall right now, but it's an expiration of time match. We got some time left, about ready to go with the second fall here.
Eddie Gilbert, Coco Ware back in the ring. The big Bounty Hunters up there. Jimmy Kent on the side. We're ready for the action, and Eddie Gilbert reminding the referee to keep Kent in his chair, Dave.
Yeah, Kent figuring in the first fall there as he jumped in the ring when the referee's back was turned and gave a little aid to the Bounty Hunters and being able to win it in 3:48. Coco Ware over to the corner, gets the tag on Eddie Gilbert. Eddie driving the Bounty Hunter out of the ring, goes after big Jerry Novak, who's out on the apron. He steps in. Eddie hooks it down. One. Got a count of two. 2 counts all he could get, but the other Bounty Hunter, David, jumps in there and stopped it at the 2 count. Well, he had him down in a small package and thought for a minute that Eddie and Coco had evened it up at 1 fall apiece, but it was not to be at that point. Oh, David Novak, big broad arm across the back and a knee. Eddie Gilbert over very near the Bounty Hunter's corner, and not a good place to be. Big right hand. He had the fist doubled. He's warned by referee Paul Morton. Eddie with his legs over to the corner. Heads for Coco. Gets the tag. Jerry Novak grabs him. Upper arm. He slams across the back of his neck. Bounty Hunters with the quick tags. Coco leaps over. Goes with a drop kick. Follows with a cover. Count of 1, 2, 3. Did he get it? Yeah. He got it. Boy, flurry of action there. Couldn't tell if Coco had gotten a 2 count or a 3, but the referee signaled yes, sir. Count was 3, and Coco Ware and Eddie Gilbert have just evened it up. It is 1 fall apiece at the moment. 1:47 the time. We'll be back in just a moment. When he's got something to prove, boy, you know, there he was.
Yeah, he's really hot, man. And it was interesting. You made note of it in there that he was doing all of his talking to Hart down here, not you or over here at the desk or the crowd or anything else. He was doing all the talking to Hart because he has felt like for quite some time that he has been overlooked and that Jimmy Hart has slighted him in favor of, well, for one, Wayne Ferris, for 2, Dutch Mantell.
That's right.
Some others.
Yeah.
Many before that.
Yeah, here they come.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one.
It should be a fine match. Coco and Eddie Gilbert waiting, as they have been for several seconds now. And the arrival has just occurred of the Dirty Dutchman and Wayne Ferris. This is going to be an expiration of time match. Team with the most falls to their credit when the time expires will be the winners of the match. Introducing at a total weight of 427 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Eddie Gilbert. And from Union City, Tennessee, Coco Ware, going against him at a total of 459 pounds. From Oil Trough, Texas, Dirty Dutch Mantell. And from Memphis, Tennessee, the bomber Wayne Ferris. This match to the expiration of time. Ferris and Mantell's manager, Jimmy Hart, and your referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, we're about ready to get it underway right here, and Jimmy Hart getting rid of the Dutchman's hat. Dutch loosening up a little bit. Looks like Dirty Dutch will be the starter. Yeah, Wayne Ferris stepping out. Size on the left side of the ring. Speed on the right. Determination on the right. And let's do it right now.
Eddie Gilbert, Dutch Mantell, Dirty Dutch. Boy, he's a battler, but don't sell Coco Ware and Eddie Gilbert short in this match. They have speed in their favor. They are quick and have some fine moves we've seen them use. Well, the Dutchman is tagged out, and this is Wayne Ferris. He tags quickly. Dutch Mantell back in. Mantell. Whoa, wrapped up Eddie Gilbert's arm. Eddie reversed it on him, and Dutchman immediately back to the corner. Gets the tag on partner Wayne Ferris. We're 1 minute into the action. Expiration of time. I think we got plenty of time. This one could go 1 fall or 4 or 5, as long as we got time. We got action. Oh, stepping right over Coco Ware. And Wayne Ferris finds himself on the mat. Ferris trying a reversal, trying to keep Coco's shoulders on the mat long enough for a count. Can't do it. But the tag is made. And the Dirty Dutchman. Dutch Mantell. Coco with the headlock. Back into the ropes. Mantell fires Coco across the ring. Coco reverses. And down to the mat goes Dutch Mantell once again. Jimmy Hart screaming. He had his hair pulled. Oh, Wayne Ferris in with a big boot. Picks up Coco, puts him back on the ropes. A whip across the ring. Coco ducked under the elbow. Drop kick puts Wayne Ferris on the mat. Coco, the first and former holder of the Championship Wrestling TV Championship. Lost that title in a match to Dutch Mantell, who won one of his opponents today in the tag team match. Here's Eddie Gilbert in. Eddie working that side headlock against Wayne Ferris. Now there's some hair pulling. How about that, Hart? A little hair pulling by Eddie Gilbert, or rather on Eddie Gilbert, by Wayne Ferris. Dutch Mantell in. Oh, backbreaker across the knee. Eddie Gilbert went for the side headlock, and Mantell converted. Upper arm off the ropes. Mantell slamming Eddie Gilbert's head into the turnbuckle. Tag made. Ferris will be coming back in. 3 minutes gone. Yeah, I see the teamwork. I see the teamwork, Jimmy. You know, Hart, that does have a point there. The team of Ferris and Mantell with the quick tags, good tag team strategy. Got to give credit where it's due in that case. Don't have to give any credit for that, though. That's Mantell's knee placed inside the ropes. And Ferris smacked Eddie Gilbert's head into it. Mantell going for an abdominal stretch. He's got it. Can he make it stick? A little extra help from Wayne Ferris out there, and that is going to cost him the hold. He's going to have to give it up due to the outside interference by Ferris. They make the tag. Wayne Ferris back in. Eddie Gilbert into the rope. He held on, though. Kicks Ferris. Here's Coco Ware. Coco using the right hand. He goes after Mantell, too. Whips Ferris into the ropes. Ferris holds onto the ropes. Coco misses the drop kick. The elbow by Ferris. Tag made. Coco fired into the ropes. Upper arm. Clothesline by Wayne Ferris. The Dutchman drops down. Here's a cover. 1, 2. He got it 3. Dutch Mantell, Wayne Ferris get the win in the first fall of this expiration of time match. It is only the first fall. Keep that in mind. 1 fall won't do it. Coco Ware and Eddie Gilbert, who gave it a good go and were doing fine in the match until Coco unfortunately missed the drop kick. And Ferris and Mantell converted that to the 3 count. But Coco and Eddie Gilbert will be back trying to even it up in the second fall of action. First fall went 4 minutes, 48 seconds. 4:48 the time.
Yeah, tough team, Ferris and Mantell, but also very impressed with Ware and Gilbert in there. Glad this one's an expiration of time.
Sir.
More action. We'll be back to it. Favored Dutch Mantell, Wayne Ferris, and don't forget Jimmy Hart that is outside of the ring sometime. Yeah, I hear it. Hey, come on. I understand. I know that he is the TV champion, Jimmy. I'll mention that. I guess we were negligent in saying that Dutch did get it from Coco Ware.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the first match there very briefly. I didn't want to linger on it too much.
I wouldn't linger on it too much. Okay, big argument in there. Hart and Calhoun going at it. They're not happy with each other. Bell time, the Dutchman and Coco come out of the corner. Yeah, right away, Dutch going in after him. Booming with that arm. Tags Wayne Ferris. Wayne takes a shot but delivers about 4 more. And Dutch, who had never gotten out of the ring, has the referee sending him out. Eddie Gilbert comes over to even it up. Referee trying to get him out of the ring. Coco being held on the ropes. Ferris, Mantell exchanged the tags, and Coco caught in between them. Down goes Coco Ware, and Dutch. Side suplex, up, picked him up. I thought he was going for a side suplex. Picked him up, dropped him on that backbreaker across the knee. Jimmy Hart having an argument with Jerry Calhoun as Dutch Mantell drops down there on Coco Ware. Tags Wayne Ferris, and Coco really bearing the brunt of the action right at the moment. Coco whipped full steam across the ring by Wayne Ferris. Ferris rolls him over 1. They almost had it 2 straight there. Coco fires a good right hand, comes with another one in there. He gets away, rolls to the corner, has a tag on Eddie Gilbert. And Gilbert nails Dutch Mantell and Ferris. Look at Eddie go. Got up high, planted the knee. The Dutchman reversed him, though, and has pounded on him. A reverse. Uh-oh. Eddie flying in with a knee, caught a turnbuckle.
That's how Mantell and Ferris won the first fall. They took advantage of a mistake, and they're trying it here to win the second fall. And they've done it.
Did he get him?
Yes, sir.
He got him.
It's one of those sayings, going to the well one time too many. Spence said, hey.
Calhoun and Hart going at it. Of course, Hart's made a lot of nasty accusations about Jerry Calhoun. A lot of people have said things about the poor referee, but Hart, it's a really personal thing in there. And they got into a little shoving match as... See if we can get Eddie, and well, if I can get my mic cable, Eddie and Rick want to get you over here. Boy, I'll tell you, it has been a long time, man. Really great to see Rick Morton and Eddie Gilbert back, and I'll tell you one thing for a fact, I have heard such great things about you guys out in the Midwest and the whole area since you left here, and I say congratulations to you. You've done a super job.
Well, thank you very much, Lance. It's just great to be back home. I tell you, it's nothing like it. You know, the feeling coming back home, it just puts chill bumps all on you and everything, I'm telling you.
I know one thing for a fact, Eddie, and this is an honest truth. I get a lot of letters every week from the wrestling fans out there, and they're always asking about what happened to this one, what happened to that one. I've never had anybody more than you two guys, people saying, hey, when are Rick and Eddie coming back to the territory?
Lance, thank you very much. I'd like to say hello to all my friends and family and everyone out there. I'd like to say something about Ricky Morton. You know, I've begun to know Ricky just like a brother now. We've been riding up the roads together. I've begun to know him real good. I'd like to say something too, Lance. You know, Ricky and I both have had partners with more experience than us and everything. But now we're together. We got the same experience, and this is do or die.
Hey, listen, I want to tell you, not only have you got the talent, but that experience coming together. I know for a fact that you guys won the Tri-State Tag Championship, and that's got to be a great thing for you and a lot of things for the future.
That's right, Lance. You know, me and Eddie went into the ring out there as one. And when you go into the ring as one, there's not too many people that can beat you. But, you know, like we say, we're glad to be back home. Like Eddie said a while ago, you know, the home is what it is. You know, like coming home like a basketball team, a football team, when you got the home field advantage, there's not too much you can do.
That's super. What do you got in store, Eddie?
We're looking for the tag team championship in this area, and that's what we're coming home for.
Golly, I'll tell you one thing, a couple of guys that can win. Again, for all the fans, good to have you back, and Eddie, good luck to you in here.
In this match coming up, and by special agreement, special rules for this one, it will be an expiration of time match. Expiration of time, there may be more than one fall depending on the time. At a total weight of 412 pounds, challenging for the belts, from Nashville, Tennessee, Rick Morton. And from Lexington, Tennessee, Eddie Gilbert. Going against him, total weight 438 pounds, the current holders of the AWA Southern Tag Team titles, with their manager, Jimmy Hart. From Delray Beach, Florida, Stan Lane. And from Union City, Tennessee, Sweet Brown Sugar. Southern Tag titles on the line. Expiration of time match. Referee, can't see him, Jerry Calhoun. There he is.
Okay, the belt's coming off a stand. He's got them both. They will be at stake. And Dave, we talked to him because of our time limit here. We do not have an hour. We're going to have an expiration of time so that we can have more than one fall. Very important. This is not a one-fall match. It will be till the expiration of time, and we'll get a chance to see it all right here. Bell time. Here we go. Get out of here, Jimmy.
It's Stan Lane. He's from Delray Beach, Florida. They didn't complain about that. He's going against Eddie Gilbert. Eddie and Rick, former holders of these belts. They're trying to get them back here today. Eddie, Stan Lane back on the ropes. Referee wanted a clean break, and he got it from Eddie Gilbert.
You know what a lot of people are saying, just what goes through my mind. Don't give him a break like that, boy. Bust him.
Yeah, should have hit him right there is what thought also went through my mind. Lane back on his feet. Lane with a takedown on Eddie Gilbert. Sweet Brown Sugar and the referee have a battle going over in the corner here. I think Sweet Brown Sugar was down the apron, did not have a hand on the turnbuckle, which he must have. Referee trying to keep him there in the corner. Headlock by Eddie Gilbert.
I know I have a tendency, Dave, because of the irritation with Jimmy and the first family in there, to sometimes be a little disparaging about it. But this Stan Lane and Sweet Brown Sugar can wrestle, partner. There is no doubt about that.
Lane hits the mat. Eddie Gilbert being somewhat cautious, and wisely so. Stan Lane grabs the side headlock. Takes Eddie Gilbert down to the mat.
Those boys have been staying out all night. Look at that right there, man.
He should have stayed out all day.
Yeah, somewhere besides here for sure. The headlock by Stan Lane. Eddie Gilbert back up on one knee now. Lane, oh, a little hair pulling. Try to add to his advantage.
Little reminder, Dave, this is not a one-fall match. It's an expiration of time. The team that has the most falls when the time expires will be the winner, and of course the belts are at stake. This was agreed by not only the challengers but the champion.
Eddie Gilbert moving Stan Lane around that ring. Look at him go. Lane hangs back on the rope.
How can we get a fair match with Jerry Calhoun referee in the match, or Rick Morton's daddy Paul Morton? Now tell me, how can we do that? How can we, Russell?
I suppose you would rather referee.
You have to referee the match.
Ooh. Well, I've seen the hair pulling, but it was by Stan Lane, not by Eddie Gilbert. Look at this heart. Going at the crowd down here. Oh. Lane, side headlock, Eddie Gilbert. And there's hair pulling right there, and Stan Lane did it. Fight fire with fire. That's the explanation from Jimmy Hart. That's why Stan Lane pulled the hair. Eddie Gilbert trying to power his way out of the hole. We're at the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes gone. Eddie Gilbert, Stan Lane in there the entire first 4 minutes. There's hair pulling again by Lane. Down to the mat goes Eddie Gilbert. No, I didn't. What I was watching was Stan Lane pulling Eddie Gilbert's hair twice to keep him in the hole while the referee's attention was diverted over to the First Family corner there. Eddie Gilbert using the ropes. Stan Lane goes by. Eddie waits for him, rolls him down to the mat. Makes the tag, and here comes Rick Morton at the 5-minute mark. It's Rick Morton in there for the first time against Stan Lane. Rick off the ropes, slides under. Sunset flip. One. And a count of one is all he gets before Coco Ware Sweet Brown Sugar jumps in here and breaks it up. Rick Morton came in and took charge against Stan Lane. Only Lane's partner, Sweet Brown Sugar, kept him from being pinned, losing his first fall in the Southern Tag Title match. Here is Sweet Brown Sugar now after the tag. Rick Morton forces him down to the mat. Nope. Straight wrist lock, Jimmy. 6 minutes gone. 6 minutes gone in this first fall. Rick Morton fired into the ropes. Steps over. Drop kick, Sweet Brown Sugar. And Sugar back to the corner. Rick Morton waiting. Oh, Sweet Brown Sugar forces him back to the corner. Stan Lane holding Morton in the corner. And he moves. And Sweet Brown Sugar has just nailed his partner. Stan Lane. Now he's saying, hey, I'm sorry. Didn't intend it to happen that way. Rick Morton with the wrist lock. 7 minutes gone. 7 minutes gone in the first fall. Sugar landed on his feet. Drop kick, Rick Morton. Good move. I'll give it to him, Jimmy. Good move. No doubt about it. Rick Morton, boy, victim of the drop kick. Coco caught him with a good one.
I got it.
Ooh, Brown Sugar. Putting the pressure on that arm, Rick Morton. Oh, he threw him to the mat. 8 minutes gone. 8 minutes gone in the first fall. Remember, this is an expiration of time match. The Southern Tag Team Championship being decided right now. Eddie Gilbert takes the tag from his partner, Rick Morton. Right fist under the rib cage by Coco Ware's Sweet Brown Sugar. Sugar makes the tag. Stan Lane back in. They double team. Eddie Gilbert wraps up the left arm of Stan Lane. Putting the heat on. Stan. Ooh. Backbreaker across the knee. Lane suplexes him. Eddie Gilbert on the mat. In trouble. Tag made by Stan Lane. Sweet Brown Sugar off the rope. Brown Sugar with a clothesline. Eddie Gilbert on the mat. Rick Morton trying to say, come on, Eddie. Jimmy Hart just saw jumping around down there. He thinks they got it won here. Sweet Brown Sugar puts him into the ropes. Eddie Gilbert flipped high in the air on a backdrop coming off of there. Sugar over to the corner. The tag on Stan Lane. 10 minutes. 10 minutes gone. First fall. Ooh, he gets that foot high. Kicked him right in the back of the head.
Again, Dave.
Stan Lane with the feet. Eddie Gilbert being worked over. Lane picking him up. Head slam into the turnbuckle. Lane round behind, body scissors. Rolls the shoulders over. 2. Count of 2. Lane using the ropes for some extra leverage. Referee didn't see it. Eddie Gilbert able to roll the shoulders up at the 2 count anyway. Count of 2. And again, Eddie Gilbert able to stop it at the 2 count on his own. Able to get those shoulders up. Lane going for it again. This time, the referee saw the hands on the ropes. He stopped the count at 1. Lane makes the tag. Sweet Brown Sugar, Coco Ware coming back in. 11 minutes gone. 11 minutes. Sweet Brown Sugar. Look out, he's on the top rope. Oh, off the top rope, 3/4 of the way across the ring. He lands on Eddie Gilbert. 1. Rick Morton there to break it up. I thought he had him right there. Rick Morton able to get there and prevent the 3 count. Eddie struggling to reach the corner. Doesn't make it. Sweet Brown Sugar grabs it. Yeah, he's got something in his hand there, too. Referee's checking. Didn't find it. Head into the turnbuckle. Stan Lane grabs Eddie from outside. Snaps the neck on the top rope. Rick Morton trying to help out. Referee sends him back. Sweet Brown Sugar smacks Eddie Gilbert again. Down to the mat. 1. Referee, did he start the count? Doesn't matter. He didn't get a 3 count anyway. Tag made. Stan Lane back in. 12.5 minutes gone.
Well, let me tell you, the champions know they've been in a match. What a tremendous battle.
1, 2. 2 count.
Eddie kicked out again.
Boy, I tell you, that's at least the 4th or 5th time in a match he's done that. Able to prevent the pin. Sunset flip. 1, but Sweet Brown Sugar was there, and he nailed Eddie right in the top of the forehead. Eddie Gilbert battling Stan Lane. They're back on the ropes. Lane goes by. Eddie sets. Both of them hit the mat.
Watch Brown Sugar.
Yep. Referee trying to keep him back in the corner. He's down the apron here. He steps through the ring. Through the ropes. Nails Eddie Gilbert. in the back. Eddie gets it tagged. Here's Rick Morton. Rick with a drop kick on Sweet Brown Sugar. Stan Lane whipped into the ropes. Oh, Lane held on, caught him with a foot. 1, 2, 3.
You get it?
He got it. Stan Lane saw an opening, took the opportunity, and gets the win in the first fall. A very long first fall. 13 minutes, 45 seconds. What a battle we saw on both sides. All right, back for second fall.
Yeah.
You know, Morton's lost without his daddy referee in the ring. He's lost without him. Look at him.
First fall went to the team of Stan Lane, Sweet Brown Sugar in 13:45. That's where we stand in the Southern Tag Title match.
Stan and Rick starting it out here. Lane and Rick Morton. And Rick comes out of that corner smoking. Referee Jerry Calhoun. There's a tag on Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert in, drops the elbow. Another tag on Rick Morton. Eddie and Rick held the Tri-State Tag Championship belts in addition to a short period where they held these very same Southern Tag Championship belts. Morton down with the upper arm on the shoulder of Stan Lane. There's a tag on Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert, knee lift. Holding on, Eddie Gilbert takes Stan Lane over and bars that arm up tight. Tag on Sweet Brown Sugar. Right down the middle of the ring is where he went. Tag on Rick. One fall up. Lane and Brown Sugar, most unusual. But we're delighted to have it. A multiple fall championship match, Davey. It's expiration of time, so the team with the most falls at the end of the expiration of time will be the winners and will thereby be the Southern Tag Champs. Around behind, in the air, right down on the knee. Tag, no, he didn't tag.
He's just looking for help there, I think.
Yeah, really.
Little consolation.
Sweet Brown Sugar goes over to receive some of that consoling from Stan Lane. That isn't going to help him too much with Rick Morton, though, who started this fall off, and boy, he really came out smoking. He was ready. Top wrist lock. Tag Eddie Gilbert. Eddie short stops that right hand of Sweet Brown Sugars. Turns the arm over.
Three minutes into the second fall now.
Come on, shoot, baby.
Past the 3-minute mark in this second fall of action, and we still have time on the clock. Coming up on the 4-minute mark. Bango! And nice leapfrog. Again by Eddie Gilbert. What a reversal! And Sweet Brown Sugar bites the dust. Eddie and Rick really need this one. And they need to do it in a reasonably short period of time if they can. Fireman's carry throw. Gilbert hanging right on, though. Comes right in behind on the arm bar. Good move. Stan Lane, give him credit. Oh, look at that. Nice move. Eddie Gilbert reversed it on him. Went in there. Gilbert with the arm in a hammer position. Stan Lane turned over with one shoulder down. The other one is not anywhere near being on the mat. Sweet Brown Sugar and Stan Lane have the distinct advantage, Dave. They can not win this one and still win the match. That is to say, they can take the time all the way out, and they will, in fact, win the match. There's a tag on Sweet Brown Sugar.
Yeah, we haven't discussed a tie. Since it is, though, an expiration of time match, if it ends up one fall apiece, I would assume the tie goes to the champions. The belts are not going to change hands.
You got to take it away from them.
5-minute mark coming up right now. 5 minutes gone in the second fall.
Ooh, bear hug. Gilbert up on the shoulder of Sweet Brown Sugar, and he dumps him. Stan Lane taking Eddie Gilbert over and does it hard. He may have him. Ah, nice. Eddie kicked out of it, wouldn't give it up. Stan from behind with that arm. He grabs the tights, pulls him into it as he slams him into the ropes, nails him again with a forearm. Tag on Sweet Brown Sugar. We're in the second fall of action. Brown Sugar and Lane are one fall up. Double drop kick. Most effective, boy. Referee gets Lane out of there, but Sweet Brown Sugar standing right over him, goes in behind that double drop kick. Body slam.
6 minutes. The end of the second fall. 6 minutes gone.
And again, off of it. Sweet Brown Sugar coming down. Didn't catch him clean. Over the top, and Eddie Gilbert banged down on it. Count of one, but Gilbert kicks out. Gilbert firing back. Has him covered. Got a 1 count out of it. Sweet Brown Sugar jumped in there. Stan Lane really belted. Eddie Gilbert trying to battle his way up off the mat.
We have just passed 7 minutes. 7 minutes gone in the second fall.
Tag on Rick. Nice drop kick out of Rick Morton. Grabs that foot. Bang, Stan Lane. Beauty. Morton comes in behind him, pounding away on him. And Stan Lane put him over the top rope, and that's going to do it. Disqualification, Dave.
One fall apiece.
He didn't jump over. He put him right over it, and the referee disqualified him on it. All he did was call it the way it was. So there it is in the second fall of action. The fall goes to Gilbert and Morton, Dave, and because it is a multiple fall, that doesn't end it right there. We're going to check our time, find out how much time we have left, and we're going to be back with more action in just a moment.
Get fired up. We come here fired up, and we ready to fight. We want to fight champions. Where's the fighting champions? Dundee and Carnes. Tell me what he is.
I'm sure that when you put in enough time that you have the
we
match.
got 2 boys that's pretty capable up here. We're going to show y'all what it's all about right now, Lazarus, since your fighting champions ain't out here.
The Midnight Express going against at a total weight of 412 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Eddie Gilbert, and from Nashville, Tennessee, Rick Morton. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. The referee is Jerry Calhoun. And we should explain for those that haven't seen the Midnight Express before, there are 3 of them. 2 of them will be wrestling, and Austin looks like will be outside in an advisor manager role.
Bell time, and here we go. Yeah, Big Dennis Condrey, the biggest of the 3. Midnight Express starting out against Rick Morton.
Morton off the ropes. Good shoulder butt. He put Condrey down on the mat, followed with a headlock. Condrey rolled the shoulders down. Nice reversal by Dennis, but he couldn't make it stick. Rick Morton makes the tag, and it's Eddie Gilbert. Again, Condrey went for reversal. Oh, pulling tights that time, referee Jerry Calhoun said, so he did not even begin the count. Morton takes the tag from Eddie Gilbert. Morton steps over. Condrey thought he had himself set. Rick took him to the mat. Morton Gilbert make a tag again.
Randy Rose complaining about something. Oh, now he's got something to complain about.
Eddie Gilbert let him have it when he was in the neighborhood there. Randy Rose starts through the rope. Referee Jerry sending him back out on the apron. Meanwhile, in the ring, Dennis Condrey goes for the head scissors. Didn't have much chance to set up on it too well, though. Eddie Gilbert. Randy Rose after the tag. Hey, whoa, out of the rope. Wow. Eddie Gilbert with the headlock over to the corner, makes the tag on Rick Morton. And Rick goes to work on Randy Rose.
Eddie, we're noting, Dave, still wearing under knee pads. He has that brace on that knee where he had the operation in there, but he seems to be getting by really good, moving well.
Already seen a couple of good moves from him there. Rick Morton got the headlock. It's Randy Rose on the mat. Whoa, shot of it. Rick takes him right back down, but Rose goes for the head scissors. Look at Rick. Counter and counter is what you're watching here. One wrestler trying to set the hold, the other one counters. And Rick Morton ends up with a headlock advantage. Tag on Eddie Gilbert. Yeah, I can see that brace right under the right knee pad.
Yeah.
We're 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this one. 2 minutes, 30 seconds gone.
Norvell Austin doing some really vocal cheerleading. Ooh, what a shot from Randy Rose.
Eddie Gilbert hanging back close to the ropes. Here's Randy Rose of the Midnight Express, but look at Eddie Gilbert. He let him have it with a couple of right hands. Makes the tag on Rick. Morton with a drop kick, and Randy Rose hits the mat. Rick immediately goes for the headlock. Backs him into the rope. Puts him across the backdrop. Rick Morton. Oh. Suplex by Randy Rose.
Hit hard on his shoulder, too, Dave. That's the way you separate those shoulders.
Condrey in there now. Against Rick Morton. 3.5 minutes gone. Oh, right in the small of the back. Randy Rose's knee as Condrey drove Rick Morton into the corner. Condrey with a forearm across the back. Body slam on Rick Morton. Dennis Condrey follows up. Lower leg. Cover. 1, 2 count. Rick Morton able to break it at that point. Condrey made the tag. He grabbed Rick, kept him out of the corner, away from the tag on it. Ooh,
beauty.
Randy Rose sits down on him. Over to the corner, the tag on Dennis Condrey. 4 minutes, 30 seconds into the action. 4.5 minutes gone. Rick through Condrey's legs, over to the corner. Here's Eddie Gilbert. Eddie with a drop kick. Oh, Norvell Austin grabs the ropes. Eddie fell through the ropes, down onto the floor.
Oh, man.
Austin rammed his head into the turnbuckle, or into the ring post. In the ring, Rick Morton trying to hold off Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey while Eddie is down there on the floor. There he is. Austin ran him right into that ring post.
He sure did. Slammed him right into that ring post, Dave. Referee Jerry Calhoun was in the process, as you said, of trying to keep Rick and Randy Rose separated.
Eddie climbing back up to the apron, grabbed by Condrey by the hair, and pulled into the ring.
He's still seeing those stars. He is not back with it yet. Eddie out on his feet. Yeah, his head looks like it was busted open when he hit that ring post.
Condrey tagging Rose. Rose up on the ropes. Body slam by Condrey on Eddie Gilbert. Rose leaps across the ring, and he got him with that right hand. Rose with the body slam. Goes for the rope.
Rose looks like he's working on the cut that was opened up on that ring post.
Eddie grabbed by Dennis Condrey. Well, Austin's happy, dancing around the corner down here. Condrey with the right hand. Eddie trying to fight back, but really in no shape to do it.
Connery just pounded on him. He really just slams him down. Eddie a mess.
We're coming up on the 7-minute mark, and Eddie Gilbert in trouble here. Oh.
I would point out they haven't been able to pin him yet, though, as Eddie Gilbert is still fighting back, but he is getting progressively worse.
He's headed for the corner. Rick trying to help out, but Eddie can't make it. Condrey grabs him. 7.5 minutes gone. We're halfway through it. Time limit is 15. 7.5 gone. Eddie Gilbert starting for the corner. Can't find the corner. Leading from the fourth. Ricky in there. He nails Condrey, but off the ropes comes Randy Rose. Eddie swinging at the air.
It's pure instinct right now because he is some kind of a mess.
All right. Tommy, his dad, comes in, throws in a towel. Tommy Gilbert has thrown in a towel. It's going to be it.
Referee Jerry Calhoun stopping the match at the request of Eddie's dad, who came in and pitched a towel in there. Eddie just was, boy. It's going to be a win for the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
Trying to help Eddie back to the dressing room in there. Oh, here's Tommy. Yeah.
I'd just like to say one thing, man. I don't usually butt into Eddie's business because this is a competitive sport. But this, they've got no business. Man, they wouldn't even try to pin him at all. Why didn't they try to put his shoulders down? They had him hurt.
Just kept beating him.
I'm not saying whether it's Eddie because he's mine. I'm talking about Rick or anybody else. They got no business. Kinks like this has got no business in this profession. I'll guarantee you.
Let me tell you one thing. What you doing out here? You weren't signed in that match. What you doing out here, man? What business have you got dipping into the Midnight Express's business?
I'll dip anywhere I want to whenever there's somebody like this that's concerned where it's part of me, brother.
You got a mama's baby, I see at you. A mama's baby. You got to put him on the back all the time.
Mama's baby.
I'll tell you what, if you bad.
I'll tell you what.
If you bad.
He's as much of a damn man as anybody else around here.
If you bad, won't you sign a match? Take your punk kid and sign a contract against me and my men. If you bad, I'll take you. We bad. It ain't nobody bad like us. It ain't nobody bad like us. But we go. We fuck all the way out. We fuck it. Yeah.
I'd ask you one question. I wonder, like Tommy, why they didn't make an effort to pin him when they had him in there. They just pounded on him and pounded on him. Eddie Marlin
see that we don't have any more of a confrontation than we did have in there.
Okay, so yeah, the Southern tag match will come up later in the
Lance,
yes.
please, can I take time out here just a minute to say something? You know, Jimmy's been through a lot here lately. This is a man, this is a guiding light to me. He has done everything in the world for me. He guided me to the international heavyweight title, and to show my loyalty to the family, Jimmy, I'd like to present this to you on television in front of all the audience. Thank you.
Wow.
Please take this from the deepest of my heart, please.
You can tell the fans are really impressed in there as Jimmy carrying around his neck brace here on his arm.
His neck, he's went through a lot for me, you know, getting pounded his neck almost out of wrestling. I think,
You better open it. I can't open the thing.
I think, there we go, we got it. I think you're gonna like this, Jimmy. It's beautiful. I want you to look at the back.
Let's see what it is.
Look at the back
It's
of
a
it.
jacket, and on the back.
First family victory tour, Lance.
I'm going to put it on.
Oh.
Put it on now, baby.
You're going to put it on right now so we can see it. Eddie Gilbert, appreciation prize to Jimmy Hart. Well, everybody is duly impressed.
Okay, Lance, you know, now I want to talk about something and say something. Something today disturbs me already coming out here. Dutch Mantell, you must think that all these people are stupid. Now, we're talking about intelligent people watching this show. Now, I know, just like Jimmy, I know you know, and Lance, if you really think about it, you know. Last night, while Tommy Rich and Dutch Mantell were together down in their motel room down here somewhere, one of these $10 rooms, drinking their quart of milk and eating bologna and crackers, old Tommy probably sat back with the big hangover and said, "Oh, Dutch, I wish I could figure out some way where we wouldn't have to show up tomorrow and defend those belts and lose them against the Nightmares." And Dutch says, "Oh, man, maybe we can come up with something where you overslept, Tommy, or maybe we can come up with you had card trouble or something like that, because you know what, Dutch Mantell, you're nothing but a yellow belly, long-haired, all over your body, egg-sucking dog jerk." That's exactly what you are, because he comes from a long line of jerks, because back in 1896 down in Oil Trough, Texas, people don't know it, but they had to hang his grandpa Mantell for horse thieving down there. See, a lot of people don't know it. So what I want to say is now, Dutch is here today, right? Dutch Mantell is here today. Tommy Rich is here today. So why don't Dutch come out here and put that international heavyweight title on the line against me today and show what kind of man he is, but he won't do it because he's a coward, and I know he's a coward, and he won't come out here, show the jacket, show the, see, he's got, where's he at? He's not here. Like I said, they had to hang his grandpa. I don't know whatever happened to his pa, Mantell.
Don't listen to all this stuff.
I want you to come out here. Come here. I want you to come out here because I want to see you. No, wait, no.
Your face, you big, mucky breath-looking dog. Hey, I'll call him anything I want to, Hart. And I'm not a coward. You got a big mouth and you know how to run it. You better watch your big fat lip, Gilbert.
All right, Dutch.
Listen, Mantell, I know you're a coward, and I'll prove one thing to you. I know you're a coward so much. I know there's nothing I can do that'll make you put that title on, because that's...
Oh, come on, Eddie. Hey, you're just asking for trouble and trying to get it. Why don't you wait till Eddie books it the way you should?
Put that belt up, Gilbert. I want you to put it up. I'm going to tell you one thing. Yeah. You can slap me, you can hit me, but I've signed to put a Southern Tag Team match in there, and I can't put both of them up today. But I tell you what I can do, Gilbert.
But you don't ever slap me like that, because I'm not like a, you're a coward. You're a coward because you won't put the belt on like that.
Hey, get these guys out of here. Come on, Hart. Get these guys out of here. New generation coming out. Thank you, Johnny. You'll get yours, Dutch. You'll get your opportunity with him. You notice they love that 3-on-1, then 4-on-1. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. Gilbert really fits in.
to follow up. Rushes in after Dutch. Dutch zips out of the way, and Gilbert slams a shoulder into the ring post. Gilbert popped over in the center of the ring. Count of 1. There's the 5-minute call. Right shoulder comes up. I gotta tell you, I think, Randy, the longer it goes, the more it favors Dutch because of Dutch's superior weight advantage on Eddie Gilbert. A lot of times that is not an advantage when a guy isn't in shape, but you know as well as I do, the Dutchman is always in shape.
All-time tough guy, Dutch Mantell, no doubt. He's ready. He's been out of the single title picture for, what, almost a year now. He is ready, I can guarantee that.
Well, he of course, is going to be out for the title, but I'll tell you one thing. I have been surprised that Gilbert, by one method or another, has been able to keep the title as long as he has, Randy.
Agree with you. Both of them down now, Lance. Gilbert been a tough champion. What an exciting match this is.
Better believe, and I'll tell you, the pace has not let up. This may be the longest they haven't been at each other's throats since the bell sounded some 6.5 minutes ago, and now the Dutchman has him. Pumps Gilbert in the middle, covers him up 1, 2, and then he kicks out. Gilbert snack rolled right over and down, and another 2 count, but the right shoulder, no problem, he gets it up. Crowd hollering at the referee. Good legitimate 2 count. Gilbert had no problem getting the right shoulder up. The Dutch draining what strength Gilbert may have left. That's not to indicate that Gilbert is washed up and through by any means. He's a long way from it. He's the younger of the 2 in the ring, and Gilbert is also one who believes in staying in shape. Hanging on to the side headlock down on the mat as once again the referee counts out 2. Eddie Gilbert, while his head is being pressed and the ears are getting hot and the blood feels like it's coming right out of the head. Whoa, he bent over for a backdrop and Dutch held on and kicked him. Look at here. Atomic knee, and Gilbert's down. He's too close to the ropes. He'll never get him. He kicked out. He didn't use the ropes. Once again, snap mare and down for a 2 count, and the right shoulder is up. Gilbert. He's dodged the bullet on 5 occasions as Dutch has really gone after that pin. That's what you call pressure, Randy, when he just keeps going and you've got to watch it all the time. You go to sleep a second, you've lost the title.
That's true. The thing with Dutch is that he sticks with you all the way, and he more than anybody else will stick with one hold the whole match. You notice him use an arm bar for 5 straight minutes. What a super wrestling machine Dutch Mantell is.
I don't know whether the people remembered or not, Randy, but before the match, Dutch was talking to you and I, and he said, I'll tell you one thing, if he starts that slugging and violating the rules, brother, he's got the wrong man to do it with.
That's one thing about Dutch. You know, you think of him, we always say the toughest guy, the tough guy image. He can wrestle, but the thing that he's known for, he can duke it up with the best of them.
That's why they call him Dirty Dutch, and he's got him down now on a side headlock. Absolutely legitimate hold. Gilbert and the Dutchman tangled in what has been an excellent championship match thus far. Look at that. That's what we were talking about. They're trading licks in the ring right now. Oh, Gilbert, a super move. Give him his credit. You hate to, as smart aleck as he's been. But, boy, I'll tell you, he popped a side suplex on Dutch that crammed him right down on his neck. Gilbert pulls out of the ring, grabs a leg of the Dutchman, slams that leg around the ring post, And as we come up on the 10-minute mark, Gilbert may have changed the tide of this battle with that one very quick move he pulled on Mantell. Hart coming off. Hart's a little too confident. Of course, Jimmy always is. Greatest day of his life, whatever happens. Dutch Mantell being worked over by Eddie Gilbert down off of the floor. Now back in the ring. Gilbert going for the leg. He heard it on the ring post first, then slammed it over the ring apron. Hooks it around the bottom rope. The referee will go for the great count. He does it. Gilbert broke for a second. I thought that was somebody coming to ask for an autograph from you, Jimmy. One of the spectators, which is not a good idea. Getting a little too close to the action there. All I can do is lead you a trip to the pokey. Eddie Gilbert going after that ring rope standard. Now, I couldn't really see what he did with it, but you can bet he wasn't over there to inspect how it was made. Mantell roughed up down on the concrete floor. The Dutchman really had it going, I gotta tell you. And Gilbert, give him credit, he pulled a super move with that side suplex on Dutch. And Gilbert back slugging away as the referee trying to get him up in the ring. They're trading licks. Dutch rolled back into the ring. Gilbert, who is none too steady on his feet himself. Yeah, Gilbert still going after the leg. Gilbert just counted off the eyes of Dutch Mantell. He was gouging away. Now goes back to the work on the leg. Going for that figure 4 leg lock. He's got it. Dutchman may give it up right here. Boy, he hurt his leg, and now he knows how to finish it. Mantell enduring. Referee's asking him. The Dutchman says, no, sir. He grabs the ropes. That may get him out of it. It does. Referee counting for a break. Gilbert uses the extra seconds to continue to punish that leg of Mantell. Boy, Dutch grabbing for those ropes, and that saved him in this challenge. He's still alive, and that international title, look at here. Minutes in. Mantell up with a gimpy leg, and he puts the fist to Gilbert, who goes over the top rope, but Dutch didn't throw him over it. And now Dutch follows it up. The champion being roughed up by the Dutchman. Back in the ring. Dutch Mantell follows it up. Jimmy Hart knocked down off the ring. Eddie Gilbert has the piece, got his feet on the rope, and the referee calls it 14-24. The winner is Eddie Gilbert. Dutch Mantell is hot. The winner and still the international heavyweight champion, Eddie Gilbert, in 14-24. The crowd really griping because Gilbert used the rope as he stole the fall on Mantell, but he keeps the title. Now Jimmy Hart is up there complaining about Mantell hitting him. Sure, he got up on the ring apron. What do you expect? And yeah, they were on the ropes right over here on the side. Referee Paul Morton. Restart, Randy. That's what the referee's calling for. One, two, three on the restart. Gilbert was arguing with the referee. The referee restarted the match. Oh, boy, Dutch just slammed down. He is the new international champion. In 1449, the aggregate total, as Dutch Mantell is being slaughtered in the middle of the ring by Gilbert. And here comes Wildfire Tommy Rich. Gilbert leaves with a title. He is not the champion. Dutch Mantell is the winner and the new international champion. As the referee restarted the bout, Gilbert was arguing with him. Dutch came in behind, rolled him up for a 3 count, and wins the title.
We've always been a little in awe, not only of his attire, but for his gymnastic athletic ability in the ring. And I'm talking about Sir Lanny Poffo. Lanny, big things in store for Sir Lanny.
Well, thank you very much, Lance. No, I'm not here to apologize for anything I've done past, present, or future. Because in professional wrestling, the winners make more than the losers. The winners drive the Cadillacs. The loser has to sleep in the park, and anything I do is to win a match. But it seems to me that last week on your championship wrestling program, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert wrestles Johnny Wilhoit. And Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert could have beaten him once, twice, 3 times during the first 3 minutes. But what does he do instead? He attacks an already weak point. And right now, where is Johnny Wilhoit? He has torn quadricep muscles, and it's very possible that he may not wrestle for several months. Now, this is not our sport. Our sport is pure science, professional wrestling. This is not what we are in for, to maim, to humiliate, to brutalize. No, I do not condone such action. Now, I don't need an excuse to go after the international belt. No, I don't. I can challenge it because wrestling thrives on competition. However, let me add a little spice. Eddie Gilbert, since you are so vehement, so adamant in your attack on injuring people's legs, why don't you come after Sir Lanny Poffo? I have no championship. The only thing I wear is the armor. I stand for chivalry. I stand for honesty, humility, charity, fidelity, diligence. Lance Russell, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert will rue the day that he saw fit to seek power by riding the back of the tiger. Lance, I am saying to you right now, and this is a very serious warning to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Now today, I happen to be wrestling Keith Robertson. And I'm going to try to defeat him. I'm not going to hurt, brutalize, or humiliate the man, because that is not our sport. I'm after the winner's purse, and that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, right in the middle of the ring. That's what I'm here for. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, you keep your eye on me, because I am coming for your international belt.
Okay, there he is, Sir Lanny Poffo. Most interesting gentleman, to say the least, Dave. Let's get ready for this match. He's got a tough chore cut out for him today with Robertson in there.
This is going to be 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, at 252 pounds, Keith. Wait a minute. Here is Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Wait just a second, Dave.
Yeah.
We just, well, get it all done right now.
You know, what all did he have to say about me? I never could understand that. You know, the 10 man's out here and talking about me hurting people. Well, Lanny Poffo, I want him to look at me here. I want him to understand this. Lanny Poffo, you've got your chance right now, because what I'm going to do is, we don't have to wait till we get to an arena. to have a match for the international belt. What I'm going to do, as a little present to everybody watching today and to you, Lance and Dave, I'm going to put the international belt up right now on TV against Sir Lanny Poffo right here. Now, you notice I've got a $150 pair of pants on, but I don't think that I'm going to have to take these off because I don't think they're going to get scuffed. So
now, you mean to tell me you're going to put this belt on the line right now against Sir Lanny Poffo?
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to beat him. I'm going to hurt him, and he's going to be laying in the hospital with Johnny Wilhoit. They're going to be little roommates there for a while.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're all for it, Dave. I think if Eddie Marlin is
Keith Roberson said he'd be more than happy to step down because, after all, he may be in the family one day, too, baby.
Well, if it's okay with Eddie, is it going to be okay? Hey, I would much rather see it. Now, officially, he's saying he's putting the belt on the line. All right, Jimmy Hart. I'm stunned at Hart agreeing to this since they had a very bad experience with the Nightmares doing this right here on Championship Wrestling. Gilbert is not even in his wrestling attire.
No.
He's in boots, black leather pants, and Poffo going after him.
Eddie Gilbert can wrestle with anything on, anytime, any place, anywhere. He is a champion, baby.
We've got the belt over here, Jim. I just want to remind everybody it's on the line.
And I'm keeping an eye on it, too, around you. But like I said before, you know, everybody's out here blowing off a lot of hot air. Now there's your chance to back it up in the ring right now, baby.
Look at that Poffo move. Eddie, who gives away a little weight most of the time that he's defending this international belt, is doing so today. And through the benevolence of the First Family, we're getting an international title match right here with Poffo. Count of one, two. He caught him with those boots, the heels, and pumped him right upside the head.
You know what it is? The leather pants and boots he's got on is throwing Eddie off a little bit right now because the pants are awful tight. If he had his regular wrestling stuff here, this wouldn't even happen. I promise you that.
Oh, okay.
I thought he could wrestle in anything a minute ago.
That's what he said. He could wrestle in anything. He is, but not very successfully, although Hot Stuff laying the shoulder to Poffo in that corner, and the referee saying, get him out. Poffo out of the way as Gilbert impales himself over there on a turnbuckle. Eddie Gilbert staggering back in the center of the ring.
Eddie ripping the shirt off now. A little more freedom of movement. Sir Lanny Poffo wanting more action here. The international title on the line. Eddie Gilbert says, yes, sir, he's putting the title up.
You're ready now, baby. The shirt's on.
They got the shirt off, and Jimmy says now he's ready. We'll find out.
Whoa. Both of them hit the mat as they run together.
Gilbert on the floor, Poffo down in the center of the ring. He caught it right in the chops.
Eddie being helped back up on the apron by Jimmy Hart. He's still on the apron. Sir Lanny Poffo, whoa, they'll try to flip him in the ring, but Eddie flips Poffo out over the top rope, down onto the floor. Eddie Gilbert with a reversal, and Poffo down on the floor. Look out. Gilbert picking him up, slams him on the floor.
Well, the action is on the floor and not in the ring. The referee comes out to get Gilbert back in the ring, and Hot Stuff pops up through the ropes. Now he's outside again. Ooh. Boy, and I would point out again, Dave, he's got on boots, not wrestling attire.
He planted the heel of that cowboy boot, that street boot.
He ain't leaping too much now, is he, Russell, huh?
Peeled him right out on his floor and slam Lanny Poffo. Sir Lanny
In trouble is Eddie Gilbert, who has surprised us on several title defenses, coming on strong.
Just like I said, Eddie Gilbert can wrestle with anything on boots, leather pants, tights, you name it. He can do it all, baby. Hot stuff.
Poffo fired back in the ring by Gilbert after preventing him from getting in the ring.
4.5 minutes gone.
Oh, stiff right hand from Gilbert. He covers him up. 1, 2. Not enough by a long shot as Poffo kicks his way out.
Poffo really taking a beating here in the last couple of minutes from Eddie Gilbert. Ooh, head into the top turnbuckle, and he hit, bounce, hangs in the rope.
Eddie Gilbert again stomping with those boots right on Sir Lanny Poffo.
Whoa, Lanny reaching for Jimmy Hart outside. Look out, here's Eddie.
Hart taunting him, and Gilbert now right down on the chair, much like the atomic knee, but he used the chair to drop Lanny to jam that lower spine. Gilbert's been on a roll here the last couple of minutes with Poffo.
Oh, Lanny body slam by Eddie.
Missed the elbow. Lanny got out of the way.
Lanny saw him climbing the ropes. Now look out, some of that speed may come into play here by Lanny Poffo.
Big body slam, and Gilbert as Poffo, look at that! There's that backflip off the second rope. He covers him while the referee argues with Jimmy Hart. Lanny comes over grabbing at Hart, and Gilbert gets him from behind, wheels him over the top rope, pulls himself back up right into the referee, and Calhoun is down on the outside. Look at that, Gilbert's down. He's got him with a bridge. But Hart comes in, jams that cane right in the midsection. Eddie Gilbert going after Poffo after Hart turned it around. Figure 4 leg lock. Trying to get the referee up now is Hart.
You know what happened to Will Hart? You know why he's not here, baby? Because of what Eddie Gilbert did.
There comes Randy Savage into the ring.
It's a $1,000 fine for outside interference right now, baby. We were going to break his leg. You understand?
And Savage coming into his brother's help. He fires Gilbert outside the rope. It's going to be a disqualification. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dave. Disqualification on Lanny Poffo. As Randy Savage saw his brother in serious trouble after Hart had piled that cane into his midsection. Had a figure 4 leg lock.
He was trying to hurt his leg, no doubt about it. As Randy Savage came in to help out. 15-minute time limit match. Introducing at 206 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, with his manager Jimmy Hart, Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert. Going against him at 232 pounds from Montreal, Canada, the national heavyweight champion, Ron Garvin. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, Ronnie Garvin, the national heavyweight champion, moving out against the fellow that's known as Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert is an extremely proficient competitor, no question about that. But he is going up against the national heavyweight champion, Ronnie Garvin. Garvin circles this man and very quickly bowls Gilbert into the ring ropes, and that forces the break. Referee Calhoun asking for the break. They lock up collar and elbow once again. Again, the referee steps in between them as they were into the ring ropes. Gilbert tried for a ankle sweep, and it was a quick back out by Ronnie Garvin. Garvin again stalks his man. Once again, collar and elbow. And into the turnbuckle. This time it's Ronnie Garvin. Irish whip, and then Gilbert reversing on him, and Garvin chest first into that turnbuckle. So Gilbert showing that he's got some great reversal qualities. Duck under, go behind, lateral drop and takedown by. And look at this man Gilbert try and slip away from him. Got to give Gilbert a lot of credit. He is a slippery individual in that ring. For the national heavyweight champion, Ronnie Garvin's going to have his hands full, no question about it. Gilbert, of course, a champion in his own right, and it's Gilbert now. Had the hammerlock momentarily on Garvin, and again, the referee steps between them as they were into the ring ropes. Gilbert getting some quick advice from his manager, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Jr. at ringside with Jimmy Hart. Gilbert now with a side headlock on Ronnie Garvin. Off the ropes, Garvin caught with a shoulder smash, dropped to the canvas. This time as Garvin tried to set him, and it was Gilbert leapfrogging and came down, and as he has got a leg problem, no question about that. Gilbert, Gilbert utilized that.
How'd you like that, Gordon Soley? Huh? How'd you like that, huh?
Well,
Did we trick him into that, or did we?
Gilbert feigning an injury and then taking full advantage of Ronnie Garvin. Garvin trying to shake those cobwebs loose. And Garvin in trouble as Gilbert feinted him out beautifully. Garvin, dazed, staggered, backs up into that turnbuckle. Gilbert driving the shoulder into the abdominal wall of Ronnie Garvin. Gilbert has Garvin in trouble, no question about it. The national heavyweight champion. Snapmare and a lateral press, but Garvin powers out. And so Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone, has suddenly found that he has been put on the disadvantaged side of this match by the trickery of one Fast Eddie Gilbert. And Fast Eddie is hot stuff himself. Indeed deserves that title. I can't tell at this point in time. It looks like he does indeed have a sleeper hold, a Japanese sleeper on Ronnie Garvin, and Garvin has got to be lapsing into unconsciousness at this point in time. And so, hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. Now Gilbert riding that back, and Garvin. That caused him to relinquish part of that sleeper, and so Garvin has that blood flow going back to the head once again and jams Gilbert back into the turnbuckle. And Garvin seems to have regained his clarity of senses now, and Garvin now with a side headlock on hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. Good shoulder smash by Garvin coming off the rope. Garvin catches him once again. Gilbert's got himself a lot of problems now as Ronnie Garvin is beginning to turn the tide of this battle. It's Garvin, the national heavyweight champion, catching him, a chop into the throat. And Lance, it appears to me that Mr. Gilbert, who had a good start going and almost an upset going, that situation seems to be reversed.
It certainly does now, because Garvin, who is indeed one rugged guy, he's got, Jimmy, stop complaining, will you? He's around here, and that's where you get it from the entire First family. Complain. Part of that distraction tactic. Nothing is distracting Ronnie Garvin right now.
Garvin, lateral drop and takedown on hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. Keeps him on the mat. He's got a pinning combination going, but Gilbert was able to slide away before the count. And Gilbert connects with a hard right hand to the side of the jaw of Ronnie Garvin and dazes him, takes him back into the far turnbuckle. Referee Calhoun separating him, and it's Garvin's head smashed into the turnbuckle again. So it's the percussions to the head that have been taking their toll on Ronnie Garvin, and it all began when hot stuff Mr. Gilbert, lateral drop by Gilbert now into a pinning combination. Garvin again powers out. But it has been Gilbert going to the head that has been most effective for him. And it is Garvin stalking his man, moves back in, collar and elbow this time.
Ooh, could you hear it?
All the way across the room, I'll tell you what. Garvin now. Semi-press. And again, Gilbert able to get that shoulder off. He's in a definite predicament here.
With the attitude that Hot Stuff has had of recent, I tell you, it's hard for me to give him anything. But Gordon, this son of a gun is a tough little wrestler. He learned it very well from his father, all of the basics. He's got plenty of speed, and he's a sneaky devil to try to pin, too. Very tough.
No question about it. In fact, I was thinking earlier that Slippery Eddie might be a pretty good name for him.
You got it.
Once again, Gilbert comes to his feet. As Lance just said, he is a second-generation competitor. Good move.
Nice sweep. Garvin takes it.
Garvin tried to stop himself from there and got himself tied up in those ring ropes, and it's Gilbert taking quick advantage. It's Gilbert pounding away with that right hand, finally being forced to break by the referee, but he has taken his toll on Ronnie Garvin, and it is still Garvin tied in those ropes. And you'll notice Jimmy Hart right there at ringside, the referee Calhoun, going to separate those ropes and get Garvin out of those ropes, and it is Jimmy Hart clamping down once again. And so Gilbert continues to press full advantage here. Garvin's arms have been freed. Irish whip off the ropes, and Gilbert catches him the back of the elbow under the chin of Ronnie Garvin. And things do not look good for the national heavyweight champion.
Gilbert, another surprise, because I tell you, just very honestly, I would have said in my own heart, I felt Ronnie Garvin was the favorite, flying off that turnbuckle.
Got him in the side of the rib cage, and that was high up. Again, it is Garvin able to power out, and now watch Gilbert. As Gilbert comes down, it was Ronnie Garvin rolling to one side. And where Gilbert was feigning injury before, brother, he's facing it now. A single-leg Boston Crab by Ronnie Garvin. Single-leg Boston Crab. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's all.
The referee calling for the bell as Gilbert is disqualified, and Garvin out there battling two men at once now. The Pier 6 are going here. Garvin in a lot of trouble as they continue to ring the bell. Garvin caught as they're triple teaming on him. Wait a second. Jerry the King Lawler and others come charging into the ring, and so they beat a hasty retreat. The winner via disqualification, the national heavyweight champion, Ronnie Garvin.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He had that half crab on him right there, and Hart knew that he was in difficulty, and as so often happens, rather than take a loss in the middle of the ring by submission, in comes Phil Hickerson, another of the family members, and jumps in there. The win goes to Garvin, and it will go down in the books as a disqualification, but I'm certain he would have loved to have heard Hot Stuff say, "I give it up, I give it up."
And I have a hunch he would have, too, and we'll be back in just a minute.
In the event that Lawler wins and regains the Southern Heavyweight title, Jimmy Hart will leave the territory for 1 year, will make no attempt to return under a mask or any other way. And by the same token, if Gilbert retains the title, Jerry Lawler has agreed he will leave his hometown and will not return or make an attempt within 1 year. The big surprise, whoa, the flying press put Lawler down, 2, and he kicked out. He almost had him, but boy, oh boy, it's hard to believe, but you're looking at it right here, right now. And Gilbert firing away, nailing Lawler hard. Lawler right back, going for a pile driver. He drove him down. Gilbert escapes, gets out of the ring. If he hadn't have gotten out of the ring when he did, Lawler would have it over with right now. Whoa, boy, look at Gilbert. Jerry catches catches him with a foot as he came in. Pounds ahead of Eddie Gilbert on that top turnbuckle. Gilbert down into the timer's table. His manager right over with him, trying to help him back up to the ring. That may do it. Gilbert rolling under the ropes. Boy, I'll tell you, what a lot of savvy this young fella has picked up in the short time he's been a pro wrestler. Over the top rope. Lawler put him on the floor. Suplex. Lawler pounds Gilbert to the mat. Covers him up. 1, 2, but he gets out of there before the 2 count got cold. Eddie Gilbert, who has publicly proclaimed the fact that he is the new king. All of his life, he's dreamed of taking Lawler's place, as he said, as Lawler, uh-oh, there's that cane. He grabbed that cane, jabbed it in Lawler's midsection, broke it over his back. 2, and Lawler saves it with a... Whoa, he pounded him hard. Gilbert coming off. Lawler's down, 2, and just barely saved himself. Lawler with his shoulders flat on the canvas. Gilbert trying to finish him off. Comes down with both feet right in the midsection. He was on the second turnbuckle. Buried him in the midsection with both feet. Eddie Gilbert going for the suplex. Pops Lawler down. Final 1, 2. Bulldog by Gilbert. He really drove him into the canvas. Moves that left shoulder up. Gilbert shows signs of weariness. He's having trouble holding Lawler down. Lawler pounded down, and once again, Gilbert grabs part of that broken cane. Tommy up on the ring apron, and Gilbert jabs Lawler right in the throat with it. And Eddie stinging Lawler hard. Boy, he really put him down. Woo! Lawler just keeps coming back up after him. Eddie Gilbert stomping Lawler's head. In the air, body slam. Gilbert goes to the second rope. Flies down over Lawler for another. He got a 2 count, and that's all. Pulls the table up, brings Lawler out of the ring, and slams Jerry Wild right into that table. Gilbert's pulled it all out. He grabs a mic stand. They're out here on the floor. Gilbert's tried everything, but he hadn't been able to get a pin on him. Referee running Tommy H., the lookalike. Jerry still under his own power. With the table on Lawler, Gilbert jumps on top of it. 21 minutes in. Jerry back to his feet. as that strap of Lawler snapped down, and he really tags Gilbert hard. Jerry, a good running start, nails him again, but stumbles into the ropes. Swings so hard, he loses his own balance. Lawler again puts Gilbert down, staggers around the ring. Lawler going for a pile driver, got low bridged by Eddie Gilbert. Lawler down, Gilbert down. Gilbert's glassy-eyed almost. Eddie Gilbert staggering to the turnbuckles. He's going to try to finish Lawler off. Jerry coming up off the floor, nails Gilbert. Climbs up on the ropes with him. Lawler grabbing him. Suplex from the second rope. Gilbert down, prostrate. Lawler going to the turnbuckles. Tommy H trips him off that top rope. Lawler down. 27 minutes, right at the 28-minute mark. They're both stretched out. Gilbert turning it over. He's on his knee. Lawler goes down. Gilbert falls across him. Gotta count him. Lawler's shoulders are down. 2. He rolls Gilbert up. 2, 3, got it! Jimmy Hart is gone. And 28 seconds, and one that will not be forgotten. It'll go down in history. Jerry Lawler not only regains the Southern belt, but sends Jimmy Hart packing for 1 year.